At the Stockman School gala evening, two bursaries or grants were announced, and I'm here with Mecki Schneider, the chairman of the LRF, to explain what these are. Now, let's first separate the two. What are they?
Yes, these are two bursaries which the LRF wants to give back to young students who study animal breeding, animal science, and especially genetics. The first one is called the LRF, Dr. Michael Bradfield Bursary. Michael Bradfield was a founder of the Stockman School. Michael Bradfield had a big influence on cattle breeding for the last 20 years in this country. Michael Bradfield was the in-between person between producers and breeders and the service provider, which is Breed Plan in Australia. Michael unfortunately passed away about 2 years ago, and we just thought it fit that from the proceeds of the Stockman School that we award this bursary to a local student to study in South Africa for an MSc degree. It must be postgraduate degree in animal genetics, and that bursary is open for the next year, and we would like to invite applicants to apply before the 30th of November this year.
All right, so not a lot of time. How do they go about it?
Preferably through the departments at the university in which they study.
Okay, and then and the link to the your office. How
yes,
will that work?
Well, they know the LRF office, those universities, and they will make contact. Yeah.
All right, and then the second.
Yeah, the second bursary is actually a bursary which we just facilitate, the LRF, and that's a bursary that Agricultural Business Research Institute, ABRI in short, in Australia, awarded or created for a PhD student in animal genetics, animal breeding at the University of New England in Armidale in Australia. That was awarded to Ilandri De Bruin this year. So she will join about 25 geneticists at the Agricultural Business Breeding Union, AGBU, in Australia, where many animal scientists, animal geneticists, many PhDs sit who analyze the data and who make that breed plan animal assessment possible. So Ilandri will be leaving by the end of November, and she's very fortunate to be the first one who will go to Australia, and it's also called the Dr. Michael Bradfield Memorial Bursary.
An annual bursary.
It's an annual bursary, yes.
A huge opportunity for young geneticists.
Yeah. And we hope, of course, that they will go, but that they will also come back again.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And so it concludes the end of the 15th annual LRF Stockman School here at Aldam. The chairman of the LRF, Mecki Schneider, what is your impression overall?
Thank you, Isaac. Yes, it was again, as you said, the 15th Stockman School. It was again a successful event, as you can hear from the audience. We had 2.5 days of information sharing. That's what the Stockman School is about. That's what we want to give back to the industry. I think the highlights are just briefly that we started off with a broader spectrum of livestock in Southern Africa. We had a very good talk by the Director General, Mr. Ramazodi. I think that was very encouraging. We also assessed the political landscape in which we operate, and then, of course, we delved into the nuts and bolts of livestock farming, cattle breeding, shared a lot of information on two topics, I think, which you can sum it up. The one is profitability, and the one is sustainability. So these two things we have to match as livestock farmers, And I think the Stockman School with local speakers as well as international speakers which we had here, and that they shared good information, and it has been, I can say, from the response we get, from the questions we get back, it has been, again, a good and a great success, and we will carry on next year and see how it goes next year. Yes, we had this excellent Stockman School, but I think the other component which came out here is that we must address the industry deficiencies. I think we had a good session, a planning session, a strategic planning session with the stakeholders in the industry, and we will see what comes from that we all work together as a value chain, and that we make our product, which is meat, which is protein actually, that we get our basic things right, that we can start exporting again to the outside world.
The chairman of the LRF, Mr. Mecki Schneider.